This complexion routine will make sure you never need to use a filter again. In our last video, when I revealed our easy blur and our new easy routine, I asked you guys, do you want to see my full complexion routine? And I got a lot of requests for it, so here it is. I'm so excited to share with you guys everything that I do. What I love so much about this routine is this is everything that I have learned over the last 14 years of being a beauty blogger, but I've been a beauty lover forever. I've literally had every job under the sun in beauty. I've been a makeup artist. I've been a beauty blogger for 14 years. I was a beauty editor. I've had the opportunity to have my makeup done by some of the leading makeup artists in the world, literally almost everyone. And I've learned so much. Everything I've learned, I've put it in this video. I am going to do a wear test. We will show that at the end of the video as I go throughout my day in Dubai. And it is hot. It is really hot. I'm going to put the temperature somewhere over here so you know what I'm dealing with. And let's get right into it. As you guys have seen, we've been doing this half face with our easy blur because we really want to show you how amazing and filtered you look using easy blur and the fact that you don't need a filter. You just need a bomb-ass product. So I'm going to go ahead and Yellow Glow and moisturize both sides of my face. So for me, this is necessary just to make sure my base is super smooth. It just kind of removes the dead skin. This is a mixture of dead skin and then also the cellulose from the scrub. I'm going to go ahead and rinse my skin and I'll be right back. I do like the Korean technique of applying many layers of skincare and letting it soak in. So I'm going to go in with a couple layers here. So you guys are going to have to bear with me. I've already applied 3 layers. My skin is dry. So you can see everything is just being sucked right in. Next, I'm going to go with Skin Cycles. This cream, this serum, wow, it's amazing. This is a really nice serum. I like it because it has copper and vitamin C, and I think those are both such important ingredients that we need to get into our skin. I'm going to go with a Fresh Rose Deep Hydration Balancing Emulsion. This stuff, wow. Very, very thin, very hydrating. That's why I love it. It's so thin. It's so hydrating. So you can see that's already giving me this nice little glowiness to my skin. That's extremely hydrating. This is my favorite moisturizer of all time. If and when we do discontinue Wishful, I don't know what I'm gonna do because this moisturizer is the best. It has collagen in it. So I just feel like for me, it's like very healing for my skin. So this is my skincare. This is not my makeup skincare. This is just my skincare. You can see my skin is really nice and hydrated. Now I'm gonna go in with my favorite makeup moisturizer. This is called the Embryo Derm cream and it's very, very rich cream. It's actually for, I think, more mature skin. Love this before my makeup. For my skin, which is very, very dry, this is my favorite cream. If you have a little bit more combination skin or even oily skin, you can actually use this version of Embryolisse as well. This is the Let Cream Concentrate. I'm going to grab mine, the one I like to use, which is the Embryo Derm. This is the thicker one. I'll apply the moisturizer on both sides just because we're going to finish the skincare, but then I will apply the makeup just on one side because I want to show you guys, of course, that amazing filter-free effect that we want to show you guys. Apply on my forehead. Let's begin with the makeup application. So of course you guys probably have seen the easy routine. We wanted to make complexion really, really easy for everyone. Give everyone a 1, 2, 3. It's our prime, blur, bake. Make it super simple. But in this video, I'm going to show you my full complexion routine. I'm going to start by priming my skin with our Easy Blur primer. I'm obsessed with this. It's got like a really clear consistency. It looks like a silicone-based primer. Like you can see, it's clear. Basically, I take 1 finger for each side of my face. So I'm gonna do this side of my face. So you can see I have 1 finger length. And you can see it does give you this beautiful matte texture. So because it's water-based, you do kind of want to blend it in well because it will kind of start to set. It does get a little tacky. And that's good because it's going to keep your makeup in place. What I love so much about this primer is it gives you this beautiful blur, but it's not as intense as a silicone-based primer. For me, it was very important to do a water-based silicone-free primer. I always feel like your primer is the next step before your makeup, but it's sitting in between your makeup and your skincare. So it's kind of like skincare. I used to use a lot of silicone-based primers that were really amazing, but then I found that they clogged my pores. I noticed my blackheads getting worse, my pores getting bigger, and I could see my texture over time. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with Easy Blur. And as you guys have seen in my videos, I've applied it kind of like in a dripping way. That I've done just for social. That is not the best way to apply it in this video because I want to show you the optimal way. I'm going to apply it on the palm of my hand, and the palm of the hand is just so much warmer and so much better for applying makeup than the back of the hand. So I have like a nice amount here, and I like to do it like this because I want it to spread out. I want when I apply it on my brush, I don't want my brush to go in there and just have a strong amount in one place. So I'm applying it like that. Because we are going on top of our water-based primer with an oil-based, silicone-based product, I want to make sure that I'm using a brush. If I use a sponge, you're going to need to let the primer sit, and it's just going to be more difficult. This brush, a lot of people are talking about this brush. It's amazing. It is available for sale, so people are asking if it's available for sale. Yes, it is. It's kind of like a big kabuki. I love it. And I'm just going on top of the skin like this. I'm applying one layer here. We're going to go in with a really light layer first, and then we can apply more as needed. And you can see how beautiful that is. I love this. This is, for me, the best technique and the best way to apply it. Again, I'm going to go in with another layer. The thing I love so much about this foundation is it's really buildable. It's a buildable blur. So you can see the way this looks. It looks absolutely beautiful. I shared with you guys, I went back to the labs many times to perfect this formula. What I was really looking for was more blur, like that ultra blur, and also this beautiful sheen. I wanted more of a natural glow. So obsessed with. For me, it's a big no-no to apply foundation under your eyes. When you are doing that and you apply concealer and you apply corrector and whatever you apply on top of that, you're basically applying layer on top of layer on top of layer on top of very thin skin. You guys may know this, but the skin under our eyes is 10 times thinner than the skin in the rest of our face, which means, of course, it's going to wrinkle, of course, it's going to crease, of course, there's going to be so many things that are going to create less of a perfect canvas for you to create this beautiful under eye. So for me, no foundation goes underneath here, and we're going to apply a very small amount of corrector and concealer. I do like to use our Cherry Blossom corrector. I love this so much. It is not necessarily the perfect shade, but I do like how it brightens, and it does give me a little correcting. Again, I'm going to use the front of my hand here, and I'm going to grab a brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and clean up my under eye here. And you can see just by doing this, it looks really nice and natural. It already looks corrected. Also on the palm of my hand, I'm gonna go in. This is Sugar Biscuit. I've tried a lot of different colors of concealers, and this is my favorite shade. And I'm gonna go in really light with that as well. I'm going in with my same brush that I used for my corrector. This time I'm actually kind of like stippling it in, and stipple basically means you're kind of going like with this kind of patting movement. And what that does is it just kind of makes sure that everything looks really nice and smooth, and it makes sure that everything looks really nice and even. And then I always get my brush, and I kind of like to blend really high on my cheekbone, and I blend the concealer. So I like to use this beautiful concealer stick. It's actually concealer from Ilia. I'm obsessed with it. My favorite shade is actually this 36 Paddock C, which means it's a cooler shade, but you can see it's not cool at all. It's very, very warm. I like to go here a little high, and that's about how much contour I apply there. I go in with a nice amount of contour on my forehead. On the jaw, I like to use a little bit more of a grayer contour. So this is a beautiful one from Dior. It just launched. I'm obsessed with it. So nice. I'm just gonna go in here with that. The only thing I will say about this, it's very gray. So I would not use it on my face, but I love it here. I will do my nose at the end, but this is how it looks. So I have a grayer contour here and more of a warmer one on my face. So I am gonna go in, and with this brush, I love this brush. This is an Ilia brush, I love it so much. And I'm just gonna go ahead and just start pushing this into the skin. And I really take my time pushing this into the skin, I love it. I want it to look as blended as possible. And with my forehead, I actually just blend it back into my forehead. So the most important thing is whenever you're blending your contour, you don't blend around, you kind of blend into the direction that you want everything to go. So you can see I'm blending this, but I'm blending it upward because I want my cheek to go up. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and blend my jawline here, and I go back and forth here, and then I take it into the jaw. So you can see how beautiful this looks. It looks so stunning. I have this little soft sculpt. In using this concealer shade, I feel like even though it's cool, it's giving me this little bit of warmth. And then of course I've used an actual true contour for the jaw, and I will use one for the nose as well. I'm gonna start with blush now. Blush for me is like such an exciting part. I'm going to use Cotton Candy. This is my favorite shade. I just love how it's really light, and I go really high with this, and I like to just kind of apply a few drops. Notice that all of our complexion products that we have launching, if you haven't tried them already, they are all about that filtered, beautiful kind of blurred effect. I am going to just grab, I don't know if you guys have tried the Makeup by Arla brushes. They have been through it with me. I need to get another set because I just use and abuse these brushes so much. I'm obsessed. I love how this just kind of blended everything in. So you can see this giving me a really small amount of pink. I want this kind of as a base. So I go with a really nice light shade because I want to create a little bit of this diffusion. So it makes my cheeks look really nice and pink, but it's also giving them this lift. I'm going to go in now with Strawberry Cream. This color is so beautiful. And I'm just applying again a little bit more. And you can see I'm going with all my cream products. I haven't applied any powder products. One of the things that I love that have become kind of a rule within the beauty industry right now is you apply all of your cream products. You apply every single thing that you need to apply. You blend it, you make it look really beautiful and sculpted, and then you bake it in place. And what that basically makes you look is so blended. It makes you look airbrushed. It's one of the most incredible things I've ever seen, and I'm obsessed with it. Okay, I'm just gonna take my concealer brush now, and I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm basically just blending it on top of that blush here. And I feel like that needs a little bit of time, so I go in with a concealer and then I go back in with a blush. I want them to kind of be layered on top of each other, these really thin layers, to where you don't know when one ends and one begins. I like that. I am just gonna contour my lips, and I usually just like to take this and go on top and on bottom. I like to really go almost as if I'm lip lining, but then I do a little bit of a triangle here. And this is something I've done for the longest time. There have been times when I've done it and people are like, what are you doing? You're giving yourself a 5 o'clock shadow. I swear it's not a 5 o'clock shadow. And I'm just blending it with this beautiful brush from Ariel A20. I haven't baked yet, but you can already see how smooth this side of my face looks. It looks so good. I'm gonna quickly contour my nose as well before I set everything in place. This is actually a contour that I made. I melted a milk contour and also a little bit from a Gucci Westman contour. So I'm just gonna go ahead and contour my nose. And I love this for contouring the nose. And now I'm just gonna apply a little bit of concealer just here in the forehead. I like to apply a nice amount here, and I apply a little bit on my chin. This is just optional. This is just like for extra highlighting. I'm just gonna go ahead and blend that out. And it's like, again, I like to do almost like I'm painting. And I'm gonna take my brush and just blend out the edges here. Whatever is left on my concealer, I'm just gonna take it down here. And again, this brush always comes back to blend everything together. So it's time to bake. For me, baking is what seals the deal. You do all your cream products, you blend everything in, make it look beautiful, and then you set everything with Easy Bake and it looks beautiful. One of the worst things to do is to actually set your creases. A lot of people say, hey, baking isn't good for my wrinkles. Well, a lot of people actually bake their wrinkles without even realizing it. There's even areas where we have a little bit of some folds under our skin. It's not necessarily a wrinkle, it's just where our eyelid folds, but product will gather there. And then when you set it, it looks really, really intense. So you want to make sure you just kind of go in and reset that. So now we're gonna bake. I have the new pack here. I'm really excited to use it. And I have a new powder puff with a new logo. All right, so we're gonna go in and I'm gonna use one of these powder puffs. I'm gonna open it up. And this is the new sifter here. So we've had a lot of questions online. The packaging has changed. Is the formula the same? We would never touch the formula. Don't worry about that. The formula is the exact same. It's just the product packaging that has changed. So I'm gonna go in and I'm applying a small amount of powder here. And with a sifter, it kind of gives you more of a setting effect. And without the sifter, it gives you more of a baking effect. So I don't really need to go in here and do what I used to do because the sifter kind of does that for you. It applies a small layer, which I personally really, really like. Just makes it much easier to set. And whatever is left on my puff, I'm just kind of pushing into the skin. I'm gonna go here as well, onto the forehead, and there we have it. Can we take a moment to appreciate the difference? Like, this to me is everything. Like, I've never felt so confident wearing makeup. I feel really, really beautiful like this, which I think is really, really important. Okay, now I'm gonna go with a blush, and you can see I've just basically depotted a few blushers. This is my peach blush palette, and this is my pink blush palette. I basically just put, these are some NARS blushes inside of here, and then also I have some Viseart and then some Ben Nye blushes. I like to mix my blushes. I like to use a peach and a pink blush. I just like to blend them. What I usually start with is I usually start with a really light blush, and I kind of go underneath my eyes. I just like to use that first. Similar to the way I use my cream blush, I like to do my powder blush. And I've noticed if I use powder blush alone, it does not last long at all. So I love to go in first with a cream blush, do the whole cream, then Easy Bake, then powder, and this is how you get the longest lasting blush. Same rule applies to contour. You really do need to layer those products and then set them and then apply any powder if it's necessary. You don't always need to apply it. Okay, I'm gonna go in now. I'm using this really light blush, and then I'm gonna go in with this really nice pinky blush right here. And I like to just kind of go back and forth with the different shades. I just love it. Ariel got me on using a peach eyeshadow, which I love. He's a genius, guys. And so I'm just gonna go in. These are some peach eyeshadows I've taken from some of our palette. And I just like to use that. I like to lift this area, and then I also go into my smile lines, and then I also go along my nose just to brighten up that contour a little bit. And you can even take a brush and just apply a little bit of powder there. I am going to use this. I don't even know if you can buy it anymore. This is a mini nymph highlighter. It's really tiny, so I'm going to grab it with a really nice fluffy brush, small amount, and I'm just applying a small amount here. And I don't want my cheek to pop. I just want dimension. So I just want that. I just want to look like healthy skin. So this is the before, which I love. It looks great, but this is the soft glam. It's so funny. I feel like Huda Beauty is now more of a soft glam brand versus a full glam brand. That's how I feel I am right now. I think it's a full glam, but it's much lighter. It's thinner. The skin is very breathable, which is very important to me personally. And I love the way this looks. It feels like skin. It feels like you're wearing a small amount of makeup, but in fact you are wearing very thin layers of makeup, and I love it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish the other side. I'm gonna finish my eyes and my lips, and I'm gonna come back with the final look. So this is my final glam. I finished my eyes, finished my lips, but as you can see, I did the other side of my face too. And everything is really soft focused. It's really just blurred, but also blended to perfection. So I hope you guys love this tutorial. I hope you guys learned something new. And if you guys have anything new, please share. And also let me know what video you guys want to see next. And of course, we will do our best to get it for you as soon as possible. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys love EasyBlur. And if you don't try EasyBlur, I do hope you learned something from these techniques and that you really enjoy it. I love you guys so much. I think it's 9 o'clock. We're gonna go for a walk. It's really humid out. It's humid. It's so humid. Hold on. There we go. Haven't done anything. Didn't touch it up once. Didn't touch it once. No powder, nothing. Okay guys, it's really late, really hot. Yep, I feel like my skin would look really good. My makeup would look really good until probably tomorrow morning and even past that. But I don't believe in leaving your makeup on. Have you ever Have you ever slept with your makeup on, Aaliyah?
Yes.
You did not. I'm not.
5 days. You did my makeup.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I didn't want to take it off.
I'm sweating. I'm sweating in my back. You don't want to know. Bye guys. We love you guys. We gotta go in now.
Bye guys.
Check out the skin. Looks good. Looks blurred.